There was a time when Israel didn't have kings to rule over them, but they had leaders to help them. This is a story about some things that happened during that time. There wasn't enough food in the land of Judah, so a man went to live for a while in the country of Moab. He was from Bethlehem in Judah. His wife and 2 sons went with him. The man's name was Elimelech. His wife's name was Naomi. The names of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion. They were from the tribe of Ephraim. Their home had been in Bethlehem in Judah, but they went to Moab and lived there. Naomi's husband Elimelech died, so she was left with her 2 sons. They married women from Moab. One was named Orpah, the other was named Ruth. Naomi's family lived in Moab for about 10 years. Then Mahlon and Chilion also both died. So Naomi was left without her 2 sons and without her husband. One day Naomi decided that she would go back to Bethlehem. She had heard things were better there. Ruth, her daughter-in-law, stayed loyal to Naomi and decided to go back with her.
I will go with you.
When Ruth and Naomi arrived back in Bethlehem, the barley harvest had started. It was customary for widows to be allowed to follow the men harvesting the grain and pick up grain that may have fallen during harvest time. The grain could be used to make bread to feed them and their families. Ruth decided to go and gather grain for her and Naomi. She started working in a field that was owned by a man named Boaz. Little did she know he was a relative of her husband's family. Boaz took notice of her and encouraged her to continue to gather grain in his fields and not worry about going anywhere else. "Take whatever you need, for you and for Naomi." He said, "I've been told all about you. I've heard about everything you have done for your mother-in-law since your husband had died. I know that you left your father and mother. I know that you left your country. You came to live with people you didn't know before. May the Lord reward you for what you have done. May the Lord, the God of Israel, bless you richly. You have come to him to find safety under his care."
Sir, I hope you will continue to be kind to me. You have made me feel safe. You have spoken kindly to me, and I'm not even as important as one of your servants.
When it was time to eat, Boaz spoke to Ruth again. "Come over here," he said. "Have some bread. Dip it in the wine vinegar." She sat down with the workers. Boaz offered her some grain that had been cooked. She ate all that she wanted. She even had some left over. Ruth got up to pick up more grain. Then Boaz gave orders to his men. He said, "Let her take some stalks from the women that they've tied up. Don't tell her that she can't. Even pull out some stalks for her. Leave them for her to pick up. Don't tell her that she shouldn't do it." So Ruth picked up the grain in the field until evening. Then she separated the barley from the straw. The barley weighed 30 pounds. She carried it back to town. Her mother-in-law saw how much she had gathered. Ruth also brought out the food left over from lunch Boaz had given her. She gave it to Naomi.
Where did you pick up grain today? Where did you work? May the man who noticed you be blessed. The name of the man I worked with today is Boaz. May the Lord bless him. The Lord is still being kind to those who are living and those who are dead. This man is a close relative of ours. He is one of our family protectors."
And so Ruth continued to gather grain in Boaz's field throughout the next 2 harvests. After some time had passed, Ruth had come to care for Boaz. She had no children to pass her husband's land to. Naomi devised a plan for Ruth to propose marriage to Boaz. Their plan succeeded, and Boaz arranged everything for them to be married. They were married, and God blessed them with a child. Their son Obed was the grandfather of King David. God blessed Ruth for remaining faithful and loyal to others. She was blessed with the privilege of being a part of Jesus' own family.